To Laverne, broadcasting 97.5 Murfreesboro, 106.3 Williamson County,
ESPN
102.5 The Game, and the Game Nashville app.
a Cromwell media station.
It's Robby and Rexrode with Robby Stanley and Joe Rexrode on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Yeah, welcome into the Thursday edition of Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game, brought to you by Little Guys Movers. Here's your chance to be your own boss. Join their team of 30 years of profits and good times. Visit littleguysfranchise.com. Robby Stanley alongside Joe Rexrode and Michelle Knezvik here with you on this rainy, cold, dreary Thursday morning, foggy, and may turn to a little bit of snow or ice later. It's fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
I blame the groundhog.
Is that what it is?
That's what I blame.
Yeah, it would have been totally different had the groundhog not seen the shadow, which is impossible.
Yeah.
Also, there definitely was a rumor that the groundhog was dead because after we had that whole discussion yesterday, my sister texted me and was like, I thought the groundhog was dead. But I guess not.
I think one did die, and then I guess they brought in reinforcements. I have no idea.
The backup.
What's the life what's the life expectancy of a groundhog? I mean, there must have been so many Punxsutawney Phils, right?
Yeah, I imagine there's been more than one.
Yeah.
I guess you don't think of that, though. You just think it's the same one every time. At least I did.
The immortal groundhog.
On average, the groundhog lifespan is 3 years.
Oh, yeah. So
we've had
lots of Phils.
We've had several Phils.
So I guess maybe the groundhog just died like in the middle of it one time or something.
Maybe so.
Saw a shadow and died.
It just immediately.
We've talked a lot about groundhog death this week, and I'm not comfortable with it.
Well, I'm just glad this one's okay.
Yeah.
Could do a better job of not seeing it shadow.
They all have to be called Phil, too. You know?
I know. Let's have a little diversity in the names, shall we?
Inhumane.
It is. What's going on? Michelle, how we doing? Big win for the Cats last night.
That game was heated.
It was close, too.
It was, I know.
Oh, that would have been. I mean, what would you have done had you come in here talking about a Vanderbilt loss?
No, I wouldn't have come to work. I would have told Chase this is going to be a mental health day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a good game last night. I was watching on my laptop, and there was tech here, a tech there, flagrant foul, another foul. Jerry Stackhouse whips the coach out. Cal's running up and down. It was a heated game.
No handshake after. I don't think Stackhouse and Calipari like each other too much.
Oh, actually, you're
before.
Right.
There's been some
Somebody doesn't like Cal?
Yeah, I know. Can you
Really?
imagine someone not liking Calipari?
I could never imagine.
How could
No,
that be
actually, now that
possible?
you say that, I remember after the game, he just turned and went straight to the locker room.
Well, he did say. I actually retweeted this in the post game. Your favorite coach said. He said something about like someone had COVID and they played against him. I'll find this. I mean, it's on my thing. He basically said someone they had just played, I guess from Kansas, had COVID when they played. Okay, so he said, I acknowledge him. He was asked why he didn't shake hands. Said, I acknowledge him. I got worried after the last game. Did you see that Agbaji has COVID? He has COVID. Basically, he played with COVID. I'm not going to shake hands for 2 weeks.
Okay, but
End quote.
Look at my tweet. I took a screenshot of the stream. He's standing about 1.5 inches from the referee, and I said 6 feet apart. So that is.
Well, when you need to unload on a referee,
you break those rules.
That's right. These rules.
COVID doesn't
apply.
exist.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Get after the officials.
Yes, exactly. So, but anyway, Vanderbilt got Liam Robbins back, and actually, it's too bad for them it didn't happen earlier. And he looked rusty, but the dude's 7 feet, and that's going to be interesting. I think they might have a few wins in them down the stretch here. We'll see.
I'm always for post-game handshakes because how could you get a Tennessee-Florida, Gator Chomp situation if there's no post-game handshake?
That's right.
From now on, post-game handshakes in college basketball, mandatory.
The fact that
Zakai Ziegler standing up on the going after.
They make fun of his height, and so he stands on a chair to do the Gator Chomp. Legend.
It is, pretty incredible.
Absolute legend.
Great stuff. What'd you think of the of Stillman and Company yesterday? Some interesting stuff on Stillman and Company yesterday regarding Aaron Rodgers potentially being, I guess, a Tennessee resident pretty soon. It seems like, according to Jared and his sources, Rodgers has purchased land in the Williamson County area where he intends to build a home. According to another one of Jared's sources, he is open to playing for the Titans. That some of his Packers teammates feel like he is not coming back to Green Bay. obviously they spent a lot of time on that yesterday on their show. What were your thoughts when you heard this from Jared that Aaron Rodgers apparently purchasing land in Williamson County and might be a Tennessee resident pretty soon?
Well, I thought this was coming earlier in the week. I talked with Jared about this earlier, and I mean, it's, as I told him, I was like, one thing you got to keep in mind is that, Shailene Woodley, I think, is like really good friends with Reese Witherspoon. And Reese Witherspoon lives here or, has a house here. A lot of people have a house here now.
Which, by the way, Shailene Woodley is Rodgers' fiance.
Yeah. So, people move here, and it doesn't really have anything to do with their employment. A lot of pro athletes, coaches. I mean, we could, try to get a little Belichick. Maybe Belichick, ice out Vrabel, bump Vrabel down to D.C.
Yeah, man.
Come in here and take over. He's got a house
Maybe
here.
Vrabel OC. Maybe he's learned enough.
Oh, there you could do that too. But it's interesting, certainly. I mean, it's good information. Good job, Jared. The part about it that I guess I'd like to know who he told is the open to the Titans. What does that mean? Open to playing for the Titans. I mean, I guess if you're in your mind, you're moving on. Like in other words, would they be on his list? Would the Titans be on his list of teams that he would be okay being traded to? Because he has that power.
He does.
I mean, I guess I would take it that way. How big would that list be?
I don't know. I mean, I keep going back to, in all likelihood, it's going to be an AFC team because he is still under contract with the Green Bay Packers. And yes, I know that he has power in this situation. They're not just going to send him anywhere that he wants to go. I wouldn't think. Now, I don't know. Maybe he just really wants to go live in like Tampa Bay or something. And they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. We'll take 15 first-round picks from Tampa Bay. I don't know. But my guess is it's probably an AFC team. But I don't know. Does this make you feel – I mean, we'd sit here all show yesterday and talked about, the comments that John Robinson made on Ryan Tannehill, and he's our quarterback and all this other stuff, which, as multiple people have pointed out, like, what do you want him to say in that situation? Now, I guess I would push back on that a little bit and say, you don't really have to be that strong on Ryan Tannehill when you say those comments.
Yeah, you're going to support him, but those are pretty emphatic.
Yeah, they were. So let's just say, and Jared talked about this yesterday on the show, just because Rodgers is buying property here does not mean that he's all of a sudden going to be a member of the Titans. But if you're John Robinson and you hear that, Aaron Rodgers is buying property in the Tennessee area, does that not maybe intrigue you a little bit to, wonder if he'd want to stay here and play for the Titans? Like that, to me, if I'm John Robinson, we talked about this anyway, I'm making calls at least and saying, all right, is there anything to this? Is there any interest from Aaron Rodgers in playing for the Tennessee Titans? Because if there is, you need to get him in here.
Yeah, and it's, but of course, definitely the conversations, any conversations, should be had. But I'm still trying to figure out like why the Packers would want Tannehill back.
Yeah.
And so then if they don't, in their terms of a trade, are like, no, he's not part of it. We don't want him and his salary. We drafted our QB. So how would you make that work? Find someone else to take Tannehill? I mean, there are other teams around the league, that would certainly be upgrading by taking on Ryan Tannehill. But now you're talking about try to figure out a way to unload him somewhere else and then make this trade. And what would the Packers want?
Well, that's a great question because, I would assume, and I've said this, like if Rodgers is not their quarterback next year, I would assume Jordan Love will be their quarterback, and they just draft him in the first round. So you taking Tannehill back because you're going to sit him on the bench and pay him
Jordan, now I want you to learn from this guy.
Yeah.
You learn from the other guy, but this guy, hey, Desmond Ridder likes Ryan Tannehill a lot. I want you to learn from Ryan Tannehill.
Well, and the other part of this, and they brought this up briefly yesterday on Stillman & Company, like my guess is, I don't know this, but my guess is wherever Rodgers is next year, whether that's Green Bay or Denver or wherever, Devontae Adams probably going to be with him. So you got enough firepower if you're the Titans to get Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams? It sounds great, but what all are you giving up to do that?
A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry. I don't know.
It's a heck of a package.
Again, basically this is all it's fun stuff in February to talk about. But I 100% agree with anyone who says, please, John Robinson, try, look into it, see what they say, see if anything can be worked out. There's a lot to it that's not simple.
There's not, and I will say, the reaction in Green Bay from this yesterday, it was all over the place in Green Bay.
Oh, I bet you they had fun with it.
I did a Google search last night, just typed in Aaron Rodgers, and like the first 5 things popped up. Aaron Rodgers buys property in NFL City, all this other stuff.
So
Jared's everywhere.
Did people aggregate this then? Was there some aggregation? Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I'll be honest. Like when I first heard it from Jared, I laughed. I cackled like the Wicked Witch of the West, because I mean, you're in sports long enough, and you're gonna have so many real estate related stories that are non-stories.
Well, I remember. I want to say it was 3 or 4 years ago. Matt Duchene was in Ottawa at the time. And he bought some property in Nashville.
I
and
remember
everybody was
well.
like, oh my goodness, Matt Duchene's coming to Nashville. Now, Matt
did.
Duchene ended up in Nashville.
He did end up here.
It was about a year later, but he ended up in Nashville at that time. So I guess it doesn't always mean that, and people were freaking out here, and Matt Duchene's been discussed here for like 9 years, and he just got here 2 or 3 years ago. It's been a long time for Matt Duchene, and once they found out he liked country, you like country music? Oh yeah, he'll be in Nashville one day. But I say that to say, I mean, sometimes it does work out where, I think at the time he called it an investment property, which, made sense. He's not living there right now, I don't think. So it was an investment property. Goodbye on his part.
Man.
But all that to say, the real estate connection, especially in this area, there are a lot of people moving here. So as Jared pointed out multiple times yesterday, and I want to make it clear, Jared is not reporting that Aaron Rodgers is going to be like the next quarterback of the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
But he did point out yesterday, a lot of people move here. It is interesting that he bought property here. Now, he's got a house in Green Bay. He's got a house in Malibu at the moment. And I think he's got a house, this would be here, and I think she's got 2 or 3 houses as well. So they've got like 6 houses between the 2 of them. I don't know what that means.
Spread it around.
He's just a really big Vanderbilt football fan.
Well, it could be.
There you go. Taking shots at Vanderbilt, huh? After they almost beat your team.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Could be.
But they didn't.
But they didn't. That's right. Scoreboard. Jared did make up He did not make this up. I'm sorry. He did bring up a fair point about when Brady sold his house in New England. That was a big, and there were a lot of people poo-pooing. I mean, for the most, anything like this happens, and there's going to be a lot of okay, and I still look at this and say, yeah, okay. I mean, I can see him living here. Maybe this means that like after he leads the Broncos to 2 Super Bowl titles, down there it'll be like Duchene. They'll finally get him as keep him from retiring, come here when he's 40.
Yeah, he's like neighborhood. He's in the same neighborhood Justin Timberlake out there, Williamson County, just hanging out.
Over there in Leaper's Fork.
Yeah.
Is that where he is? I guess he's going to build in Franklin, so sounds interesting. But, hey, it's good information. It is interesting. And thank goodness for stuff like this in February.
We're off and running here today on Robby and Rexrode, taking your thoughts on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. What did you make of Jared Stillman's report yesterday that Aaron Rodgers has bought property here in the Nashville/Tennessee area? We'll get to more of that coming up next. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Tune in every Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. for Nashville's own Jason Fitz with Jared Stillman and Company. Fitz started his sports talk career right here on 102.5 The Game, and now he anchors shows for ESPN. Jason Fitz is brought to you by Blood Assurance. Give blood. Give local. Give life.
What is it that makes you uniquely you? Well, DuckDuckGo doesn't think that's any of their business, and frankly, it shouldn't be the business of any tech company. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo.
Victory Award-winning New Amsterdam Vodka knows all about it, but in life, it's not always so clear. So New Amsterdam Vodka believes that in life, you've got to find your own wins. You've got to overcome your fears, go all in, even when you've got nothing at all. Find your wins. And when you do, raise that glass of New Amsterdam Vodka in victory. You've earned it. New Amsterdam Spirits Company, Modesto, California.
My crusade for the perfect pizza crust has led me here, pining over a backyard wood-fired oven. But how do I bake this build into my budget? Where can I get some solid guidance on my finances? Who can help me understand if I have the dough for this?
A little financial advice. At Regions, we know that's important because your Life Green checking account comes with Greenprint, financial planning with a banker who will help you create a personal budget and live in the moment. Make your appointment at regions.com/greenprint. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
At Copper Branch, they live life to the fullest. Food is your energy and your life. Located in the heart of downtown Nashville, their goal is to serve you, your friends, and family quality, great-tasting, plant-based power foods. Visit Copper Branch at 601 Church Street for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with convenient and validated parking during library hours. And download their app for curbside pickup. Or come out for songwriter and live music nights several times throughout the week to empower, energize, and feel your best. Visit Copper Branch today.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to Allstate, where we bring it all together. And bundling your home and auto is good, right? And it saves you up to 25%. It all comes together. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Bundled savings discounts will vary by state. Saving up to 25% is a countrywide average of savings off the home policy. Combining the multiple policy discount for having auto insurance with Allstate and the welcome discount savings at enrollment.
This tax filing season could be one for the record books. There are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table, and Jackson Hewitt will help make sure you get every one you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, taking classes, and so much more. Don't leave thousands on the table. Jackson Hewitt will make sure you get credit for all you do and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more and find your nearest location at jacksonhewitt.com.
Interact with Robby and Rexrode. Call or text the show at 615-737-1025. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
According to multiple sources, Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers is building a home in Franklin. The second thing, a source tells me Rodgers would be, quote, open to joining the Titans. That's all I was told. Open to joining the Titans. And I talked to another source in which at least some of Rodgers' current Green Bay Packer teammates think there is no way Rodgers is going back to Green Bay.
That was Jared Stillman yesterday on Stillman and Company, talking about Aaron Rodgers, according to him and his sources, buying property here in the Nashville/Williamson County area. That generated a lot of reaction yesterday on the social media. Lots of reaction on the social media. I had people,
see that.
Both Titans fans and Packers fans, tweeting me like, oh, my God, what's going on here? It was quite something. We'll take your reaction to that on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. Got a texter that says, you can't talk to Rodgers too soon. You heard he was coming to the Williamson County area and the Titans jump on it? Sounds like a crazy ex-girlfriend stalking. Maybe he just likes the weather here. That's coming from an unnamed texter.
Well, I can confirm that in Williamson County is now 68% Californians. So
there's a lot.
So really, you know.
I can also confirm the weather here is better than in Green Bay. There is that. That's true.
Yes, that is, yeah. Well, better depending on what you like, but yeah.
Yeah, if you like, Hoth, it's great up in Green Bay. First Star Wars reference of the day. Got it out of the way early.
I like it.
Yeah.
Michelle? Yep. No. Okay.
I'm not a Star Wars person.
That's all right.
So you've never watched them at all? None of them?
No.
I think we've gone through this, right? Have we gone through this?
Oh yeah, Porth's never watched Star Wars either,
too,
which is
when we had
for someone in his
McGee
30s.
on, he made the comment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ryan McGee, right?
Oh, he's a big Star Wars guy.
You, Porth, and Hub Arcus should go to a Star Wars matinee.
Yeah,
watch them
maybe
all.
so. Just watch them all.
Hey, Hub. Part of Hub's punishment is having to watch
I can't
Star
wait
Wars
till
movies with Porth.
So Aaron Rodgers plays for the Titans. Hub Arcus could get down here. Just really get after
your
it.
world's colliding, Porth. What are you going to do about it, man? Better step up to discipline Hub.
James texting in says, Green Bay is just mad because nobody wants to build houses here. Or nobody wants to build houses in Green Bay, I guess is what it means.
Oh, right, yeah.
Everybody does want to build houses here.
Speaking of Green Bay and houses, and you've been to Lambeau. You've gone, yeah?
I've not been to
You
Lambeau.
haven't been to Lambeau. You've been to
No.
Green Bay, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've seen like the neighborhood that's right around the stadium. It's
Right.
like
Yeah. I mean, I've not been inside the building.
pretty sweet.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Those the property value on those houses probably has gone up some over the years.
I would say that it probably has. Santa in Portland texting in says, "Just what we need. A diva with a man bun. Not." It's coming from Santa in Portland. Taking a shot at Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Well,
you know, in all seriousness, if you want to dig in on Aaron Rodgers of the Titans, I would be really interested to know what like Robinson and Vrabel think about him as a guy in a locker room. Not that he's like a terrible like non-leader or something, but yeah.
Well,
there's a lot of drama circles Aaron Rodgers.
And look, there's going to be a lot. You talk about, I don't know if distraction's the right word. Maybe it is the right word.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a good one.
There's going to be a lot of talk about him, regardless if he's in Green Bay next year. It doesn't matter where he is. There's going to be a lot of talk about him. He's going to be on the McAfee show again on every Tuesday, like saying whatever he wants to say on that thing, as we learned this year. Like, if you're the Titans and he's here, I mean, that's going to be something you're going to have to deal with, like, because he's going to do it, no matter what you say. So, I don't know.
And
like,
what will the podcaster think?
I don't know.
You're like, hey, man, that's my territory.
Yeah, hold on now.
They just had Pat McAfee on their podcast.
They did.
Well, see, worlds colliding
wait
again.
until Rodgers and Lawan get on there together on Busting with the Boys.
That would be a little scary.
Yeah. Well, but I said this yesterday because there were a lot of people texting into Jared's show yesterday, and they're like, yeah, no, I don't want him. I mean, the personality, all that stuff. And I was like, okay, watch him throw a football twice, and I can promise you won't care about his personality. I promise.
Yeah.
I've watched this guy play football for a long time. I don't necessarily really agree with a lot of what he does and says, but I don't really care because he throws football very well.
Yeah. I mean, what's it ultimately about?
Yeah.
You know? Like, is every person in every locker room, we got great locker rooms. So every person is exactly what you're looking for?
But
in
also,
any organization,
well,
any business?
And to that point, I've never heard one of Aaron Rodgers' teammates say anything bad about him, ever. And look, I'm sure that there were people in there that at some point didn't like him, didn't get along with him.
There's got to be some eye rolling.
Yeah, I'm sure that's happened. But, I mean, you ask anybody he's played with for the most part, they all love him. So, I think the public persona and what it is in the locker room oftentimes are two different things. Like, I'll put it to you this way. If he came here and was quarterback of the Titans, would you be worried about a lot of the external distraction stuff? Yeah, probably. Would you be worried about him coming in and just, like, tearing up the locker room? I don't think he would do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So there's still, like, there's just an arrogance,
Oh, yeah.
But again, there's like, no locker room is perfect. It's just obviously it would be. I think that one of the things about Tannehill, and I know people who are totally out on him don't want to hear this, but I think one of the things about him is that from that perspective, he's everything they're looking for. And he's an upgrade from Mariota, who was just about everything they were looking for.
Yeah.
In that way.
Just couldn't throw a pass.
Right. Other than being unable to pass a football. I mean, he was such a great quarterback other than not being able to throw the ball. If he could only have figured out throwing the ball.
Two other receivers other than himself.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Self-passer, he was great.
Heidi from Dixon texting in says, if Jared is even close to correct and we look into this and fail to get him here, we can't just trot Ryan back out there next year. The fan base will rebel. They'll have to get Wilson at least at that point. This coming from Heidi from Dixon. I don't know. I'll say, like, if it comes out that the Titans tried to get Aaron Rodgers and failed, which, look, if the Titans are on his list, there's still a very good chance he'd go somewhere else. So that's something to keep in mind.
Right. Look, he has a list. It doesn't mean he completely dictates the trade.
Correct.
The Packers still,
When it goes back to why would the Packers want Ryan Tannehill?
The Packers will trade him if they get back what they are happy with.
Right.
Like, just because that's he can eliminate teams that they can't trade him to, but he's not saying you are trading me here now. No, they'll be like, no, actually, they're not giving us crap back, so no, we're not.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I guess at some point, he could
retire. Yeah, there is that part of it too. So I don't know. It's just it's interesting. But to Heidi's point, like, I think if it got out that the Titans tried to get Aaron Rodgers and it just didn't work out, and you're still stuck with Tannehill next year, I don't think the fan base is rebelling at that point. I think they'd say, oh, man, they tried. Well, at least they tried to get Aaron Rodgers.
Well, that's an interesting – because I actually had this argument with Jared, I guess, last Tannehill bashing week part 1. You know, he was like he thought that it would be good for the Titans to let it be known that they're looking for another quarterback. Like that's like kicking the butt to Tannehill. And I'm like, I don't think you do that like for that purpose. But it's interesting because, in fact, I mean, I think you could make the case that if you ultimately determine you're probably going to be stuck with Tannehill, or maybe you don't put it that way, that you're thankfully returning with Tannehill. Well,
the whole team's gonna be tough.
Do you want him to know that you were out there trying to do something? Probably not. But from the fan perspective, I could make the case that like if nothing ever comes out about the Titans looking at anyone and it's all just no thanks, we're good. That's where I think fans would be upset.
I agree. Craig texting in says the fan base won't revolt, or Heidi needs to be quiet. The fan base won't revolt if we try to get Rodgers and it doesn't work. We'd be happy they tried. And as Jared says, I no longer care about Tannehill's feelings because we know he can't get it done. It's coming from Craig on the text line.
Well, the feelings thing, let's take that to the Preds for a minute, because I always found this, you know, like last year, like not protecting Duchesne and Johansson.
Right.
It's like, so like now they're going to crawl into the corner and sob all year. No, what they did was they got motivated by it, and they're playing great hockey this year. It's hard to be in these leagues.
Yeah.
And everybody, even players who have been at the top of the league, know that. So you can't be. I mean, if someone's that fragile that you're worried about hurting their feelings or whatever,
then you need to move on anyway.
Exactly. Then you need to go ahead and move on.
Keith from Bowling Green texting in says, I can imagine how Jared would be about Aaron Rodgers after next season if this takes place. Well, I don't know. They win a Super Bowl, or did they not?
You're saying that Jared will turn on
Rodgers?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I mean, he's not perfect.
Tannehill had 2 years here where everybody was in pretty much agreement that he was. I mean, we were talking about Tannehill or McNair. Who is the best quarterback the Titans have had?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And now we're not talking about that.
Well,
but it's not based on one game.
If they get Rodgers, that conversation ends at that point. The answer is Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, but then who's the best receiver the Titans have ever had?
If Adams is here, the answer is Devontae Adams.
No, but I'm saying Randy Moss, right?
Well, yeah. Well, it depends on how Rodgers plays.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but yeah,
he won the MVP last year. He's probably going to win it this year. I would expect if he comes wherever he plays next year, it's probably going to be at a pretty high level.
By the way, this brings me to a question. Someone mentioned this week when we were talking about Brady. Do you actually go in with a team in the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
I don't know.
I don't know that you do. So, because you know, obviously Rodgers comes here. I don't know. He may have a
Go
tough
Titan.
choice.
Yeah.
What if he wins 2 Super Bowls here in 2 years?
Yeah.
Then how
Going in as a Titan?
Would he not go in as a Titan? If you go in as a, I'm going to find that out. I can figure that out on Google, right?
Yeah, like what's Peyton going in as, or what did he go in as? I think he just went in as a player.
Yeah, it's just like the bust, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the gold jacket and the bronze bust.
Brady just goes in. Brady wears the Tampa Bay Bucks jersey to his Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony. Hi, New England.
Again.
How's it going?
You got to do the 70s powder orange creamsicle.
We'll continue to take your thoughts on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. You're listening to Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 1025 The Game.
Every Wednesday at 6, we go behind the glass with current and former Predators players, along with coaches and broadcasters for Smashville Live.
Yost, Hal, and I were just talking about last night's game. It was a big game for us.
Presented by New Amsterdam Vodka, Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, and Red Spirits and Wine on Smashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
What is it that makes you uniquely you? Well, DuckDuckGo doesn't think that's any of their business, and frankly, it shouldn't be the business of any tech company. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo.
Hey, it's Jared from my friends at Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Hiller extended their lower 2021 pricing through January to help customers tackle necessary replacements, and there was so much demand that they are now extending this special for one more month. It will be the lowest pricing expected all year. Thanks to the inventory shortages and empty shelves, there are serious shortages on equipment and products for your home. HVAC systems, tankless water heaters, and generators are extremely limited. So if you need a replacement, call my friends at Hiller today. Hiller's work is backed by the Happy OB or services free guarantee, and you can learn more at happyhiller.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Nashville area attorneys. 810 Crescent Center Drive, Suite 160, Franklin, Tennessee, 37067.
Beach Bar Rum, Santo, and Sammy's Beach Bar Cocktails present Sammy Hagar and the Circle. March 8th, Ryman Auditorium. Sammy, Michael, Vic, Jason. Tickets on sale this Thursday at 10 a.m. Buy tickets at Ryman.com. Sammy Hagar and the Circle. Sponsored by PNC Bank and Access. Proud partners of Ryman Auditorium.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a speed bump. Did you hear what I said? I'm a speed bump. And if you have cut-rate car insurance, the cost to reattach your muffler could really be a bump in the road. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise in the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback, and by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's Tango Day, everybody. Follow after me. And step, and back, and slide, and dip. That's Tango.
Why is Ice-T leading our tango class?
It's probably the heart-shaped Honey Nut Cheerios. He found out they can help lower cholesterol. Now he's having fun taking care of his heart in all sorts of new ways.
Let's see those hips move, people.
Hurry and get your heart-shaped Cheerios. They're only here for a limited time.
Saturday.
Pippen drives around and scores. Give him the bucket and one.
Vanderbilt returns home to take on LSU at Memorial Gym. Coverage begins at 4:30 on 93.3 Classic Hits and the Classic Hits app.
Hey Nashville, this is Vanderbilt football head coach Clark Lee. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game, brought to you by Little Guys Movers. Here's your chance to be your own boss. Join their team of 30 years of profits and good times. Visit littleguysfranchise.com. Robby Stanley alongside Joe Rexrode and Michelle Knezvik here with you, taking your thoughts on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. So, Joe, we've talked about the Aaron Rodgers part of this that Stillman was reporting yesterday, buying a house in the Williamson County area, or at least buying land in the Williamson County area and building a house at that time. Again, that does not mean that Aaron Rodgers is leaving the Packers. Does not mean that he's coming to the Titans. Doesn't mean that he's playing football next year. We'll still wait and see what happens on the Aaron Rodgers front.
Means you might see him at Top Golf, and if so, leave him alone. Let him enjoy himself.
Yeah, just let him go out there and hit some golf balls, I guess. But with that in mind, that obviously is going to fuel more speculation about the quarterback position for the Titans. Now, we heard John Robinson down at the Senior Bowl talk to Jim Wyatt about Ryan Tannehill and double down. He was the quarterback, and there's nobody that stands in there and looks down the barrel of the blitz and throws the ball better than he does, which was great. Great comments there. My question is, does that solidify in your mind that he's going to be the quarterback next year? And let's say the Titans get through this offseason, they don't draft the quarterback in the first round, Ryan Tannehill's the quarterback come training camp next year, And whether they tried or didn't try, there's never a peep that comes out about the Titans looking at a different quarterback. How mad is this fan base going to be at that point if they just say, yeah, we're not even looking. We're going with Ryan Tannehill next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be some fans who are definitely upset about that. Now, I think there's also going to be some fans who it's the gradual over. It's like, time heals all wounds. Time, Josh Heupel got hired, but he's mad. A few months later, it's like, I don't know, this offense looks kind of good. Like, there's going to be people who, over time here, are going to be less angry about the playoff game and be more embracing of, you know what? You do this, this, and this, and Tannehill could get back to what he was, and maybe he can win multiple playoff games for you. Like, there's going to be people talk themselves into it, but yes, there's going to be some Titans fans who are upset, and I would understand that if the decision from the Titans is just like, nope, he's good enough, he's fine, we're going with that, or in tandem with probably some, it's just how could you possibly make this work? And there's no inquiries made, and there's no reported inquiries made, then, yeah, I think people are going to be upset.
It's going to be interesting because I still think as you get through the process, I mean, I don't know, like if you're John Robinson and the Titans, I'm interested to know how they view this. Obviously, they love Tannehill. I think that is clear, at least publicly. Their comments would suggest that they're all about some Ryan Tannehill. Now, I don't know if I'm going as far as like the Tannehill Stockholm syndrome that Stillman's talking about, that apparently everybody that like is in the presence of Ryan Tannehill thinks he's the greatest player of all time.
They're hostages of Ryan Tannehill.
So
that might be a little much.
I don't know that I'm necessarily going that far, but I think it's pretty fair to say that, the players that are on the team, that play around him, that are there every day, the coaches that deal with him, the management, Tannenbaum, they all love him. So I'm sure that he's a great guy. He's been a good player for the Titans. I think that's what's getting lost a little bit in this discussion because there's been a little bit of, he's just been trash the whole time. And we know that that's not true. He's been a good player for the Titans. The problem is when you raise expectations to the level that the expectations are now at with this team, it requires greatness at times. And I just don't know that he has that in him. So that's where the problem lies with Ryan Tannehill. I agree with you. If we get through the offseason and the most likely scenario happens and he's the quarterback next year, there will be excitement about this team. We'll be talking about them winning the AFC South. We'll be talking about doing all this other stuff. I am interested, though, like if it comes out that they tried to get a quarterback and didn't, how does that affect the way that Titans fans view next year? Because at that point, to me, if it comes out they tried to get a quarterback and didn't, and the same type of season takes place next year where they're good and they're the number one team in the AFC South and they get put out in the divisional round or they get put out in the wild card round, even if it isn't necessarily because Tannehill threw 3 picks, like that probably tells me after that they're moving on from Tannehill after next year. Like this kind of feels like, and I heard you guys talking about this yesterday on Jared versus Joe, it does kind of feel similar to Mariota to a degree in 2019. Like you're not trying to figure out if Ryan Tannehill's good enough to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. You're trying to figure out if he's good enough to take you to the promised land, basically, at this point. So it is different from that standpoint.
Right. And, they picked up Mariota's option year. So it's a totally different situation. They were paying him a lot that final year. But, with Tannehill, realistically, you can get out from him after next year. It's still gonna hurt some, but it's way less painful than it is this year, this offseason. So I think that all makes sense for next year to be it. See if he can do it. See if you can do enough around him. That's probably what's going to happen.
And then Titans fans say, "Well, great, that's a year too late.
Yeah,
need to do it right now."
Well, and remember too, it. In terms of signaling something to the fans, if there's any sort of report out there about them trying to, and again, man, to me, it's Rodgers, it's Wilson. People are out there like, oh, Jimmy G. No. Matt, Tannehill's still better than most quarterbacks in this league. He's certainly in the upper half. We've had him around the top 10. I don't know. Did he drop some from this year and this playoff game?
Yes.
Yeah, but he's still probably top, what? Is he top 12? Is he top 14?
Yeah.
Okay. So, please move on from these other names. But if they, Rodgers, sure. Wilson, okay. Those two names that are realistic. Deshaun Watson, I don't think is.
No. Although, I guess you never really know with the Texans, but no, probably not.
That's true. But if it does come out, this is also would also be an acknowledgement, kind of, from the Titans that they made a mistake with Tannehill too, right? Again, this happens all the time. You sign contracts with players, and at the end of a contract or at some point, the player loses something, or you just, that happens all the time. You move on. I mean, they signed Jarrell Casey to a big extension. A couple years later, they cut him. I mean, so I mean, that's part of the deal. But that is also would be signaled by that. It would be signaling to the fans, they're trying to do everything they can. It would be signaling to Tannehill, we say all this stuff about you, but we're still looking at. But again, I don't worry about that if I'm the Titans. They've given him this very strong public support, but he's got to understand too. And again, Ryan Tannehill has already been discarded by an organization in this league. He's been everywhere. He's been the golden boy, high pick. He's been the franchise quarterback for several years, kind of underwhelming. He's been thrown away, and then he's been a backup who earned his way into a job, and then all of a sudden is as big a reason. It's Derrick Henry, of course, but why is this window here? Why have they gotten to here? Largely because of what Tannehill did at that position starting midway through 2019. You can't forget that.
No, you can't. And like I said, he's been a really good player here. The problem has been, over the course of really the last calendar year, from the Baltimore playoff game on, it's been very up and down, and the down has been awful. Like the turnovers have been really, really bad. And the viewpoint on him, I think, has turned pretty dramatically with the fan base. And now you're asking yourself, if you're John Robinson, I think the relationships are important. I think, relationships with your players are great. It's also your job, if you're John Robinson, the Titans, to give your team the best chance possible to win a Super Bowl. So, honestly, if you're Ryan Tannehill, don't you, after you throw 3 interceptions in a playoff game, I understand that, he still, I'm going to assume, has a lot of confidence in himself and his ability, and he's going to want to come back next year and prove people wrong and shut people up. All that's great. If it comes out that the Titans tried to go get Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, can you really be that upset about it in the back of your mind? It's oh, Aaron Rodgers? Okay, yeah, I could see that. I know you're not sitting there thinking to yourself, oh, well, they should have gotten Rodgers over me. But, it's not coming out of left field that if Aaron Rodgers is available, and let's say that the Titans are on his list, if I'm Ryan Tannehill, I'm probably expecting at that point that my general manager is at least making a call.
Yeah. Now, you should be offended if you hear Jimmy G,
Yes.
Be offended if, who else is out there that you could
Davis Mills, I wouldn't be offended. Sure. Probably should have seen that one coming.
Yeah, I guess so. You could really stretch a dollar that way. But, the rookie deal of Davis Mills, versus what you're paying Tannehill.
Yeah.
Think about that. You got to understand if you're him. Again, everybody who's in this league should understand that it can end really quickly for you. Anyway, not even be in the league.
We'll continue the conversation on the Titans. Welcome more of your thoughts on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. We've got an interesting quarterback suggestion on the text line that I think Joe Rexrode will love. We'll get to that coming up next. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5, The Game.
From Fox 17 News, this is a Code Red weather alert.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. We're at the warmest point of the day with temperatures in the mid-40s with rain showers. Temperature falls to the 30s, potentially seeing freezing rain this afternoon.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Blood Assurance, the area's only nonprofit community blood center, announces they'll be giving away 8 tickets to the Nashville Predators Stadium Series game. Stop by the new Blood Assurance Hermitage location on Lebanon Pike January 25th through February 3rd for your chance to win. One donation saves 3 lives, and Blood Assurance needs your help saving local lives today. Find it in your heart to donate. Go to bloodassurance.org/schedule for information.
Genesis Diamonds has everything you need to create the perfect Valentine's experience. A romantic gift, some fresh flowers, chocolates, and dinner out on us. That's right. Genesis has put together the ultimate Valentine's package. When you buy any piece of jewelry for just $99 or more, we'll give you a bouquet of flowers from Jenny's Flowers, some yummy chocolates, and a gift card for dinner at STK Steakhouse. At Genesis, love and romance are what we do best. So we've created this amazing one-stop offer so you can spend quality time with the one you love this Valentine's. We've pulled together some wonderful Valentine gift ideas as well. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, affordable, timeless gifts she can enjoy for years. So bring the sparkle and the romance with one-stop shopping at Genesis. Spend just $99 or more with us and get the flowers, the chocolates, and a gift card for dinner as our gift. Happy Valentine's Day from Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs. Limited quantity. See store for details.
Progressive presents Forced Metaphors about bundling your home and auto.
In sports, 3 goals is a hat trick. And when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, you get a hat trick of great savings and round-the-clock protection. So you might be thinking, wait, that's 2 things. A hat trick is 3. But in this metaphor, great savings counts as 2 goals, and so does round-the-clock protection. So it's like 4 goals, and that's more than 3. It's basic math.
Forced Metaphors, presented by Progressive. Bundle and protect today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless. Now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Sometimes their glass is half full.
That was unbelievable. It was the best NFL draft they've ever had.
Sometimes glass half empty.
What are we getting ourselves into here? Tough game.
And sometimes it's all about the numbers.
1 win, and they've gone on this streak, and now they're at 500.
Hang out with Darren, Donick, and Chase from 10 to 2 during your workday. Presented by Curacion CBD on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Watch live on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.
This is Robby and Rexrode on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Go to thegamenashville.com/deals to check out Nashville's best deals. Nashville's best deals deal of the week is the Mainstay Bar and Grill in East Nashville. The Mainstay is located at 501 Main Street and is your local spot to enjoy all your sports along with great food and friends with over 25 TVs, 20 taps, and nightly events like trivia, karaoke, and much more. The Mainstay Bar and Grill, good drinks, good people, good times. Head to thegamenashville.com/deals now to get your deal. Get half off a $30 gift card to the Mainstay while supplies last. Check out all of Nashville's best deals now at thegamenashville.com/deals. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game. We are streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Our video streaming brought to you by the law offices of Amanda Gentry. We are live from the Hillside Medical Game Studio here on this Thursday morning, taking your thoughts on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. Let's go to the text line. JP from Spring Hill texting in says, what about Kirk Cousins after his nice year? Just curious. This coming from JP from Spring Hill. There is a lot of interesting chatter around Kirk Cousins and his future with the Vikings. If you look at purely the numbers, he's pretty darn good this year for the most part. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, threw the ball well. Now, he
missed Thielen for a lot of the year, too.
He did miss Thielen for a lot of the year. Now, let me ask you this. Let's live in some hypothetical world where the Titans went and got Kirk Cousins and replaced him with Ryan Tannehill. What do you think the reaction is to that?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, that's another quarterback. And again, hey, admittedly, personally biased toward Kirk Cousins. That's not the move. That's not a move. That's not a move that's giving you a significant upgrade. Cousins is a good quarterback, like Tannehill. He's not carry a team to a playoff run quarterback like Tannehill. Plus, I mean, so he's got that fully guaranteed contract. I mean, I think. Yeah, I think it's
good for him, by the way.
Yeah, I think he's going to be their quarterback this year, and then this is like the prove it year for him there, and then who knows after that. But he's another guy I throw in that category. That now, if you're going to do something, if you're going to move on to, I know everybody's mad at Tannehill. Yeah, I get it. You should be, but if you're going to move on Tannehill, you don't do it for the same basic quarterback. And frankly, again, I'm a big fan of Kirk Cousins as a person, and I think he's maximized his ability. Like Ryan Tannehill is a guy who can at least break a pocket and run the ball some. And, I mean, Ryan Tannehill is quite a bit more physically talented than Kirk Cousins. Most quarterbacks in this league are actually quite a bit more physically talented than Kirk Cousins. He's, again, maximized what he has with quick, decision-making and accuracy. But no. I would just all these guys that are in the middle, like Tannehill, to me, that's pointless to even talk about.
It's really Rodgers and Wilson.
Yeah.
That's where the conversation kind of begins and ends in the quarterback. Unless somebody comes out of left field that all of a sudden is available that we just aren't thinking about, but it's really those two.
Who would that be? I mean, who's even good enough? I mean, Watson is the only other name of anyone who would be a clear upgrade.
Right. I don't know. Let's Dak Prescott has enough of Jerry Jones out of left field.
There you go.
There you go.
Dak.
I'm just saying. A very unexpected thing that would have to happen for it not to be Rodgers
Mahomes
or Wilson. Yeah, Mahomes. Maybe he's done with – he's trying to escape his brother and he comes to Nashville.
Imagine like Jackson Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers in the same neighborhood. Think of the tick-tocking possibilities.
Good gracious. Zoe on YouTube says, Nashville sports talk, don't turn into Knoxville sports talk. Gruden coming to the Vols every day.
Oh, boy.
Really? You're better than that. Just to clarify.
Hey.
We have not said that Aaron Rodgers is coming to the Titans.
We have not said that. Look, this is good information that Jared has. And, again, I said before we talked about it here, I talked to Jared about this, and I was like, okay, remember, a lot of people move here. A lot of people move here. A lot of famous people, a lot of rich people. And it doesn't mean that they don't work elsewhere, but it's still interesting. I mean, of the three things there, he's building a home here. Some of his Packers teammates, they think, okay, great. Some of them think he's doing this or that. They don't know. The open to the Titans, I mean, to me, that's the part where I'm like, okay. So I'd be interested to know who that is and what that exactly means.
Well, yeah, Is it okay? Yeah, right now I'm trying to make decisions, so I'm open to everything. Like I'm open to retirement. I'm open to the Packers. I'm open to the Titans. Open to the Broncos. Like, what does open mean? Would be my question.
Yeah, like are you intrigued by the Titans?
Yeah,
something like that would be. I'd like more clarification there. But if it gets to the point where the Packers are going to trade him, and I still think the most likely scenarios that he plays for your Packers next year.
Well, the good news is,
but if they trade him, what's his list?
We're probably not going to have to wait much longer to find out because he basically said on the McAfee show a couple weeks ago that they were talking about free agency's March 16th or whenever it is, and they were like, so I'd assume at that point's when you'll start to make your decision. And he was like, yeah, hopefully before that. So it sounds like here in the next few weeks, Aaron Rodgers will know one way or the other what he's wanting to do. Now, what he's wanting to do and then what actually happens, we'll see what that looks like. But I don't think we're going to be sitting here in June discussing what the future of Aaron Rodgers looks like.
That's too bad because June can get a little dead in the sports front,
It could be.
We may need some groomers to fill the space.
Come on.
What's he doing lately? I haven't heard much from old John Gruden.
I don't know. No. I don't know. I got a text that says, why do we keep talking only Tannehill? The Titans must move on from Todd Downing. There has to be an upgrade for Todd Downing. Well, it's not happening.
Yeah. I mean, you can say it has to be. They need to. They should. They're not going to do it. They're not doing it.
So, I mean, we could sit here and talk about how much they need to move on from Todd Downing, but they're not doing it. I mean, I don't think either option is all that likely in terms of Todd Downing moving on or Tannehill moving on. I mean, at this point, it's far more likely that Tannehill's not the quarterback next year than it is Todd Downing's not the offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Again, neither scenario is really all that likely, but Todd Downing's going to be here next year.
Let's see. The percentage right now that Ryan Tannehill is the Titans quarterback in 2022. We need to, reaffirm this since we've been talking about Aaron Rodgers' new house in Franklin all hour.
98%.
You're at 98? I was going to say 97. I'll go 97.
Okay.
I'll drop that a percentage. Percentage that Todd Downing is the OC next year? I mean.
100%.
Yeah, is it? I mean, I guess I'll put 99.99 because I don't know. Maybe he comes in one day and just decides to flip off Rabel in the hallway,
which might get him promoted.
I mean, basically it's 100. So and Downing is kind of like Tannehill. He did not have a good day. He did not have a good day in the playoffs, and that's bad because obviously that's when you want your really important people who dictate, what you do on a game day, on the biggest game of the year. You want those people to be at their best, and he wasn't. And I don't think he was great, and he was a downgrade from Arthur Smith. He also wasn't, oh, my God, this guy doesn't know football from a tennis ball OC that, like, Raiders fans said he was from his 2017 season, which was a disaster on just about every front for the Raiders.
Don't tell Titans fans that when they see the mic'd up videos coming out from the Bengals sideline. Just saying.
Right. Oh, yeah. Hey, look, it was predictable, and they did totally know what they were running, and it was telegraphed. And, I mean, the way that was played was like, I know exactly what he's doing. I'm gonna fan out here and tip the ball. So that's on Downing. That's on. You got to break tendencies, and you can't be that predictable. But it's also, I think some people took that as like, oh, my God, the Titans reran a play. That doesn't happen in the NFL. They run all different plays, every other OC in the game. No, teams rerun plays all the time. You got to be.
It's about timing.
Yeah, well, and it is about not being too predictable. I mean, it's showing different looks and doing something different in the same look, which, again, do the Titans do that with Todd Downing? Yes, they absolutely do. But when you watch Arthur Smith the last 2 years as the OC and you watch how Tannehill played in that offense, and some of it, I think, 2 tight end base versus what they did this year, it was different. It wasn't as good this year, no doubt about it, but you're going to get to see that run back next year.
We'll continue to take your thoughts on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. By the way, I was scrolling Netflix last night, and the Kevin James movie with Sean Payton, it's out on there, man.
Oh, goody.
Almost watched it.
It's out. I was going to watch it the other day, but it was $20 on HBO, so I didn't.
Even to rent?
To rent.
$20 to rent?
I think because it's so new and it's probably not on any other thing. Yeah. Well, but now it's on Netflix, so I get it for free.
I think Netflix is where I saw. I have so many streaming services, I can't remember where I saw it, but I think it was Netflix.
I don't know that I'd give Blockbuster $1 for a VHS of that crap.
Hey, man, Sean Payton's retired now. Makes it even better.
Man,
now,
whoever has watched that,
at him, and they don't want to see it.
Yeah, it's all everybody's hate watching it. Whoever watches it for $20.
We'll be right back. Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Your speaker at home is so smart that even Alexa knows where to find Nashville's best sports talk.
102.5 The Game is Nashville's best sports talk.
Ask Alexa to enable 102.5 The Game. Once enabled, ask Alexa to play 102.5 The Game.
Welcome to 102.5 The Game.
We are Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Furniture has never been easier to buy than now at Social Furniture. All the 2022 sofas, sectionals, and mattresses are arriving daily with the latest styles and colors ready for delivery. All furniture at Social is top quality solid woods and designer fabrics. There's no waiting, and they have same-day delivery for your convenience. Use their financing and pay no money down and pay no interest for 1 full year. Buy local, support Social. Social Furniture on Charlotte Avenue in West Nashville. Social Furniture is a proud supporter of your Nashville Predators.
Since their doors opened in 1898 in England, Arkansas, Bank of England Mortgage has been providing down-home exceptional service. Bank of England's success is due to the talent of their loan officers and their access to hundreds of mortgage products at the industry's best pricing. Bank of England Mortgage has 3 Middle Tennessee locations ready to serve you. Go to BOE1214.com or call 615-823-1215. Bank of England Mortgage is a division of Bank of England Mortgage. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS 418-481.
This is Stan Harrison, CEO of Apple Collision Centers. We understand that no one likes to deal with auto body repair and the inconvenience it becomes in your day-to-day life. I want to personally invite you to stop by and let our experienced staff see how we can help you make your vehicle look good as new. Apple Collision Center has 3 convenient locations, Old Hickory, Hendersonville, and Gallatin, ready to serve you. Come by and see us or visit us online at applecollisioncenters.com.
Hey, Darren McFarland here, and I'm excited to tell you about our friends at Spring Hill Heating and Cooling and their heating and air stimulus plan. If your AC or heating unit is old and inefficient, then you need to take advantage of their special offer right now. They will double your tax refund up to $1,000. Huge savings with Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. Get a York unit that lasts with a 10-year parts and labor warranty with up to 60 months, no-interest financing on all York units. Restrictions do apply. Schedule now at springhillac.com. Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, a York-certified comfort expert company.
This is Dan. Dan uses Navy Federal Credit Union to save and invest. Luckily for him, Navy Federal takes the legwork out of managing his money, which gives Dan time to work on other things, like his new auctioneering hobby. If you want to be like Dan, learn about our savings and investment options at NavyFederal.org/save and invest. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Bidder number 63.
Savings products insured by NCUA. Investment options are available through Navy Federal Investment Services and are not insured by NCUA.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7, with supplies and solutions for every industry, and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From the Hillside Medical Game Studios, WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne, broadcasting 97.5 Murfreesboro, 106.3 Williamson County,
ESPN
102.5 The Game, and the Game Nashville app.
A Cromwell Media Station.
It's Robby and Rexrode with Robby Stanley and Joe Rexrode on Nashville's best sports talk.
ESPN
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Welcome back in, hour number 2 of Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game, brought to you by Little Guys Movers. Here's your chance to be your own boss. Join their team of 30 years of profits and good times. Visit littleguysfranchise.com. Robby Stanley alongside Joe Rexrode and Michelle Knezvik here with you on this Thursday morning in Nashville, Tennessee. Taking your thoughts on our phone and text lines, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. 1025. Let's go to our 1025 The Game phone line and welcome in Jeff from Spring Hill. Jeff, thanks for calling in Robby and Rexrode.
Hey, how y'all guys doing this morning?
We're good, Jeff.
I'm having one thing of trouble trying to understand with everyone with the hype talking about Aaron Rodgers. If so what, he might be making his retirement home in Franklin. Who knows? But he's going to be 39. And the possibility of him coming to Titans and everything, okay, whatever. But he can't get Green Bay over the hump. What makes everyone think he's going to get the Titans over the hump? Hey. And I'll hang up and listen.
Hey, thanks for the call, Jeff. We appreciate it. I mean, look, you don't have to tell me. There's nobody that knows better than me about how disappointing it is to have Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers for the last 30 years, and you have two Super Bowls to show for it. Now, granted, Titans fans would take 2 Super Bowls right now. I understand. But, I mean, you're talking about 30 years of, what, top 10 quarterbacks of all time to ever play the game? I mean, Rodgers, you can make a case for top 5 probably. I mean, it's a lot of really high-level quarterback play, and you've got 1 Super Bowl apiece to show for it. So, I mean, there's no question. That part of it is disappointing. Now, I will say it's been a lot that's happened that are kind of different reasons for that. There have been times where he's choked, like this past playoffs. He did not play well. Wasn't good. Now, the special teams also gave up a blocked field goal and a blocked punt for a touchdown. And special teams has been a problem around there for a while. Defense, over the course of the last 10 years, has not been good. It was better this year. It hadn't been good. So there's reasons for, not all of it is just on Aaron Rodgers. But, yes, when you look at Aaron Rodgers and how talented he is and, the numbers that he's put up, if he finishes his career with 1 Super Bowl, you're going to say, yeah, he was great. But, man, 1 Super Bowl from that guy? That's crazy.
Well, see, here's where I would argue with the caller is he said, well, he couldn't get Green Bay over the hump, which to me means you think that, Green Bay without Rodgers is markedly better than the Titans. Let's take the quarterbacks out of it. Which is the better football team? The Tennessee Titans, everything, all other than quarterback, or the Green Bay Packers?
Titans. Titans have better defense. I like their pieces on offense better. Now, they
have Derrick Henry, too.
You have Derrick Henry. Now, Devontae Adams is pretty darn good.
Yes. He's better than A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, though, is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, so to me, Green Bay, that's why they're – I mean, it's and Aaron Rodgers, and then they have a good team, but Aaron Rodgers is why Green Bay has been where they are.
That is correct. Well, I mean, think about, part of the reason they're in the situation they're in is because, instead of going out and drafting, I don't know, a wide receiver at some point in the first round or something to help Aaron Rodgers, you drafted Jordan Love. That's part of the reason why they're in the situation that they're in right now.
Year 3 of that rookie deal coming right up. Better get started.
Yeah, it is. So, look, I mean, I hear the age thing with Rodgers. He will be 39, late next season. That's old. I mean, you start to worry about a decline coming at some point. I mean, I will say, though, I feel a little bit better about him. The last 2 years, you can make an argument, have been the best 2 years of his career. He's had a pretty darn good career. So if Rodgers did end up as quarterback of the Titans, I'd feel pretty good about him being pretty darn good next year, is what I'm saying. He can still make all the throws.
Yeah, nothing's guaranteed, but would it be an upgrade? I mean, yeah. I mean, it'd be a pretty significant upgrade over Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah. Let's go back to the text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. Got a texter that says, how would y'all feel if the Titans let Lewan and Saffold go and signed Brandon Scherf and Nate Solder? I don't think that's going to happen.
Just swapping out
linemen?
Yeah, this is – I mean, I don't know on the – I know that you are able to cut Saffold and Lewan relatively painlessly now, which is why that's on the table. But the reason you cut those – like you're cutting them because you're trying to find money, for example, to like have Harold Landry be on your team next year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that one of those guys won't be here, but I think then the replacement is like Aaron Brewer is your left guard for Roger Saffold is probably or maybe a rookie, but yeah, you're not going out and then signing more high-priced veterans to replace that. That's what you cut those salaries to make it all work.
I got a text that says, so Aaron Rodgers is building a house in the Nashville area. Cool. There are a ton of NFL players that live here that don't play for the Titans, like George Kittle. People that seriously think the Titans will sign him are crazy.
Rodgers to Kittle with Belichick as special teams coach. My goodness, imagine the possibilities. Yeah, we're not saying, again,
and also,
it's noteworthy that he's building a house here.
Also, they would not sign him. It would be a trade. But yeah.
Yes.
Now, they could sign him to an extension. Sign him to at least 44.
Kick the can down the road.
Brady, man. Yeah.
Create more cap room and sign, bring, I don't know, Adrian Peterson back? There's a lot of ways you could go with this.
Ken texting in says, Rodgers would be a cancer in the locker room. Yeah, that's just not true. He's played in Green Bay for a long time. They're not. I don't know of anyone that's come out of Green Bay and said, you know what, I hated playing with Aaron Rodgers. That guy's a jerk. I get it. His public persona is he's arrogant. He's cocky. He rubs a lot of people the wrong way. I understand. I look totally understand. He would not be a cancer in the locker room. I'm here to tell you.
Yeah,
it would not happen.
I think he'd be a source of distraction, and maybe again, like I don't think he'd be as liked as Tannehill is. But yeah, that's going too far. If he was that, then I mean he wouldn't have the career he's had.
Yeah. So I wouldn't worry about that part of it. We'll see if he ends up becoming quarterback of the Titans. Wish him good luck in the building process, though. Hope that goes well down in Williamson County.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be a very nice house.
I'm sure that it will be. Hopefully Shailene and Reese Witherspoon have a good time together here.
That's right. I mean, Reese has, I think she has one. A store here, right?
Yeah.
I believe that's right.
Oh, yeah. Nashville's a happening place, man.
Village,
no, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Happening place.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, we talked about this a little bit yesterday with the Nick Saban comments where he came out and said, we never cheated to get players here. Just going on like this rant against NIL and now how everything's out in the open and saying that in the old days we never cheated, which was amazing. You talked about this yesterday I'm sure Nick Saban himself never walked up and handed somebody a car or handed somebody money. But let's be real here. We know what goes on in the SEC. We know what has gone on in the SEC as well. This sort of noise continued yesterday with Jimbo Fisher down in Texas A&M screaming about NIL, which first off, this whole press conference / story is amazing. As we know, yesterday officially was National Signing Day in college football, even though it's been totally overshadowed by everything going on in the NFL this week, and really, quite frankly, overshadowed by its own sport in the early signing period, where this day has become almost useless in college football. But Jimbo Fisher yelling yesterday and called out a message board poster who uses the handle, quote, sliced bread, for claims that the Texas A&M Aggies had $30 million at their disposal for name, image, and likeness funds, calling it a joke. And basically, the talk down there has been, oh, well, yeah, of course Texas A&M recruiting well right now because they got all this money from NIL and they're just throwing it at players right now. And Jimbo went off yesterday. It's a lot of defensiveness from SEC coaches as of late in the last couple of days when it comes to NIL.
Yeah. Jimbo says clown acts.
Yeah, clown acts.
Multiple coaches in our league. The guy's grabbing about NIL, grabbing about the portal, using it the most and bragging about the most. It's a joke now. Lane Kiffin says the other day it's like dealing with different salary caps. I joked the other day, I don't know if Texas A&M was going to incur a luxury tax and how much they paid for their signing class, end quote. So, that's certainly Jimbo is yelling at him, but Jimbo's mad at Saban too, clearly. And I just think it's all hilarious. It's just complete full of crapness all across the board. Like, first of all, Jimbo goes off about, what about, have you ever seen the 12th man here? What about this is the best. This is one of my favorite too. You ever come to school here and see the education? There ain't a better university in this country.
Do you see the education?
Thank you, Jimbo. Good grammar there. Come on, man. Look, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with, to me, NIL money going to players who are highly sought players. The fact that like Saban is going to come out here, they are going to. His quarterback last year was making 7 figures. Okay, his quarterback who won the Heisman had 7 figures in NIL. Great, who cares? And now you're going to complain about it, and then I actually have the gall. But again, like, just be so willing to admit you think everyone is stupid to come out and talk about we've never cheated here. It's just all of this is just hilarious. It really is like a sewing circle of screaming at each other.
Jimbo was mad yesterday. He said, quote, I tell you what, I know how some of those guys recruit too. Go dig into that. I know the history. I know the tradition. I know things. Trust me, you don't want to go down that avenue, was the quote from Jimbo Fisher.
Who's he talking about? He was with Saban going back to LSU. Yeah. But it's all the same thing. Lane. So are you saying, Jimbo, that you haven't done this stuff?
Come on.
And then so Jeremy Pruitt goes to Tennessee, and there's a scandal, and it's just terrible, sloppy cheating. And it's like, where did he get that? Oh, my goodness. It's such a joke. Just take ownership of this. Now you have this situation, so deal with it. And if Texas A&M gets all the best guys, well, you better do something better on your end. That's what it always is. If the booster from Georgia outpaid your booster for the kid you were trying to recruit for Florida, well, guess what? You better do better next time.
Yeah. Got a text that says, remember, guys, it just means more. That is true.
It is true.
There's no offseason in the SEC.
Well, I guess this is one good value of still having a quote-unquote signing day is that we can have these press conferences so these guys can just say ridiculous crap.
Corner don't split the zone and get to the sticks, okay, which is the first down marker in case you don't know.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yes.
I miss that guy.
Teaching Blake Topmeyer about the game of football.
My favorite part from yesterday was the tight end that was committed to LSU that was dancing around with Brian Kelly in that video and then committed to Alabama yesterday.
Wait, was he actually committed to LSU?
He was committed to LSU like 6 days ago.
Then he signed with Bama.
Then he signed with Bama.
Well, he did that video, and then he probably saw it and was like,
oh, my God.
What is Brian Kelly doing?
Am I going to go play for him?
Like the thing with the eyes and stuff? Like, what? All right, I'm going to Bama.
What has happened to Brian Kelly since he got down to LSU? What are they feeding him?
I don't know, man. He and Kim Mulkey are just tearing up the town right now in Baton Rouge. But I really hope we can get to the point here where it's like, hey, guys, money changes hands for the top talent in the country to play sports that create billions in revenue. Can we all accept this and just move on?
I would hope so.
You guys are still acting. It's just, I'm sorry. I have no words.
When we coming back, speaking of strange days for coaches, What a day yesterday for Jim Harbaugh. That's a strange story for Jim Harbaugh and the Minnesota Vikings. We'll get to that coming up next.
Speaking of coaches who are full of crap.
Yes, there is that. We'll get to that coming up next. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Every Friday at 8:30 on Robby and Rexrode, we talk with the legend, Terry Chris, about all things Nashville Predators, presented by Copper Branch on ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Willie Donick here for Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. The cold winds of winter are here, and that means it's a great time to replace those old, drafty windows. Pella is the leader in the industry for top-quality window and door products. But Pella Windows and Doors are also affordable, extremely affordable. Pella has payment plans less than $95 a month to replace your windows. So, I suggest you purchase your windows and doors from the experts at Pella of Nashville. Go to PellaofNashville.com.
Music City. Start a profitable new chapter of your life and be your own boss with your very own Little Guys Movers franchise. In fact, no matter where you are, from Green Hills to the Gulch to down in Franklin, if you can hear my voice, there's an affordable, profitable Little Guys franchise opportunity nearby. Use your existing 401k to invest in yourself. Financing options are available. Join a team with 30 plus years of growth and good times. Learn more at littleguysfranchise.com. That's littleguysfranchise.com. And then make that call.
Hey guys, it's the new year. Are you still struggling with erectile dysfunction? I've yet to meet anyone that enjoys timing those intimate moments around a pill. Well, now you don't have to. The advanced wave technology at Hillside Medical has been shown by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic to restore and even regrow blood vessels. It can improve circulation and eliminate erectile dysfunction. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us in the next 2 minutes and you'll receive a consultation, assessment, and blood flow ultrasound free. Plus, a special gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. Trust me. This is a $600 value, free to callers now. 615-576-5000. That's 615-576-5000. Guys, get rid of your ED and get that spark back. Call Hillside Medical now to qualify. 615-576-5000.
Welcome to Allstate, where saving on your auto insurance is kind of like a joyride. You, your car, and an open Tennessee road. Maybe your best friend, too. The music is chill, and so is the traffic. You and your friend both look over at each other, and then he puts his head back out the window. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Allstate and affiliates offer products and services subject to availability, terms, and conditions.
I'm here at the Big Game headquarters, Total Wine and More, stocking up for the big celebration. The perfect bourbon, local craft beer.
Forgetting something?
Oh yeah, Cabernet, seltzers.
The day after is Valentine's Day.
Whoa, new game plan.
You got this. Total Wine can help you score the perfect bubbly, too.
Thank you, I would have been.
You sure would have.
Explore your new Total Wine and More in Brentwood.
If you've missed any of today's show, just search Robby and Rexrode on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform.
You ever been to a game here? You ever come to school here and see the education? You ever talk about the 12th man, the Aggie Network when you're done? There ain't a better university in this country. And it's insulting to what you say. And all these, and we got writers who have said it and done it off sliced bread. A guy named Slice who made it up. Love to see who sliced bread is and put it out there with sliced bread. Let me find out where it comes from.
Sliced bread.
And then to have coaches in our league and across this league to say it, clown acts. All right? Irresponsible as hell. Multiple coaches in our league. And the guys griping about NIL, griping about transfer portal, using it the most and bragging about it the most. That's the ironic part. You want character? I'll take it with any of y'all. It's a joke. It does piss me off.
Jimbo Fisher yesterday at his press conference down at Texas A&M.
There ain't a better university in the country.
We think that Jimbo will no longer use the phrase "the best thing since sliced bread." Sliced bread's just dead to him at this point.
Yeah, sliced bread, you better change your username.
I'd say
sliced bread better get a burner.
Just
Jimbo's
keep doubling
mad.
down, man. Keep going after him, sliced bread.
Hey,
It's good
Jimbo,
stuff.
did you sign like the most talented class in the country? Okay, great. Go win with it. Shut up. My
You
God.
won. He won signing day. Relax.
Yeah, there you go. It's its own sport. You won. You were the national champion of signing day.
Yeah, way to go, buddy. He was hot yesterday, man. He's mad. The Lane Kiffin stuff is hilarious.
I'm sure it's like the sliced bread said we had a $30 million. It's actually only $8 million. You liars!
It's actually 27.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Think we just add $3 million wherever we want to? No, we can't. Oh, great stuff yesterday from Jimbo Fisher. Speaking of great stuff, this time yesterday on the show, we were pretty certain that Jim Harbaugh was going to be the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. He was going to leave Michigan and come back to the NFL and be the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. And apparently Jim Harbaugh is pretty sure about that too, according to Courtney Cronin from ESPN. Obviously, Harbaugh was in the building yesterday with the Vikings being interviewed for the job. And according to Cronin, it says, quote, sources previously told ESPN that Harbaugh had been planning for his interview with Minnesota as if he was going to be hired by the Vikings and prepared his exit from the Wolverines football program by speaking with recruits about the possibility of his return to the NFL. Minnesota did not bring Harbaugh in on Wednesday with the notion that the job was his and went through the same interview process and format that the franchise conducted with New York Giants defensive coordinator Patrick Graham on Tuesday. They went on to say that Harbaugh left the building yesterday without an offer from Minnesota, so has since decided to go back.
He's like, I'm coming back, Blue. Let go, Blue, baby. Now, there's a lot of things about this that are amazing. I mean, he's Michael Scott.
Yeah.
He's Michael Scott. Sure, he's going to get the job. He's like, guess what? You know what, guys? I decided I'm staying in Scranton. And he's some of the people who cover Michigan, good friends of mine, who Harbaugh is kind of spotty in terms of my buddy Larry Lage is covering the Olympics, and he tweeted, like, I was really happy to get a text from Harbaugh that he's coming back to Michigan. And Angelique Changelis, who she's covered Michigan forever, does a fantastic job, got a text from him, said, with enthusiasm unknown to mankind, that's one of his catchphrases, that he's coming back to Michigan. So it was a quick pivot to Michigan? What do you think?
Yeah,
huh?
What do you think? Coming back?
Cool. I just wanted to check on this. I just wanted to see. And you know what? I've decided I'm coming back to Michigan.
Well, not only that he's coming back, because Courtney Cronin put this in the story too. Quote, Harbaugh told athletic director Ward Manuel that this would not be a recurring issue and that he would be staying at Michigan as long as the school wants him, source said. So all of a sudden we've gone from, yes, let's go Minnesota Vikings, to I will be at Michigan until you drag me out of here, is basically what he said.
In other words, next year we're probably going to get smoked by Ohio State. We won't be in the playoff. We won't win the Big Ten. I won't have NFL offers, so please keep me. And also, can you give me more money? Because you cut my pay last year.
I guess even now he did not have an offer from the NFL team. He got an interview, no offer.
And he apparently was certain he was. Now, look, there are some Vikings fans who are upset by this.
Yeah.
Which I get. Certainly when you talk about, because Kevin O'Connell is going to be apparently the choice.
Yeah.
Is he the favorite, or does he have an offer yet?
The only thing I've seen is
he
he's
hasn't
the
been
favorite.
hired yet. Yeah. So if that's where they go, they are picking someone with way less of a resume than Harbaugh.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
he's been around Sean McVay though.
Well,
so
that's right.
Got to count for something.
Yeah. Has Harbaugh been learning from the Jedi Master Sean McVay? No.
Clock management.
But it is interesting. Like,
challenging.
I can see. Yeah, I can see why. I can see why people, like fans would be upset. Like Chicago was all ready to be like, oh, we hired Eberflus and they got Harbaugh. Harbaugh quarterbacked here, right?
Yeah.
But it also shouldn't be that shocking. I mean, Harbaugh did really good things with the 49ers. There's no doubt about it. He's a really good coach. But also, that was a while ago. And, the Michigan tenure has not helped him.
No.
I mean, he's changing coaches left and right. This year, he broke through, and he's got his chance to go back to the NFL. Didn't get it. Now he's back at Michigan. But it shouldn't be that shocking that, like, they would pick the young hotshot over him.
I would think so. But I'm just picturing in my head Harbaugh showing up in the Minnesota facility yesterday, just kicking the door open. Hey, guys, Don't worry, I'm here. All your problems are going away. Jim Harbaugh is here, and I'm ready to start the job.
Let's get through this formality of an interview, and let's talk money. Well, actually, Jim, we're interviewing other candidates, and we thank you for coming in. We're going to have an interview now.
Jim, it was kind of inappropriate for you to show up in a Justin Jefferson jersey that's been signed already. You're not even the coach yet. What are you doing?
Oh, man. And so now I love this, too. I mean, this is just like go back to when the Titans fired Mike Mularkey. Like, they beat Kansas City, you know? And again, it's like, hey, if you're like the social media team, Titans social media team, by the way, does a really good job. And you just have to react to what's going on. But it's like after that win, it's like, this is our coach, Mike Mularkey. And it's all this like, and then it's like
7 days later,
Mike Vrabel, the new era for the Titans, you know?
Need a PA announcer following people around wherever they go. And now, your prospective new coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Here's Jim Harbaugh.
He hasn't been fired yet, Mike Mularkey. So the Michigan football account, as soon as Harbaugh doesn't get the offer, has to come back and say, guys, can I still stay? It's like, go blue, Coach Harbaugh, like this big celebration, like he just got hired all over again, you know. But again, that's
college
that's
coaching.
what you're
so
gonna do.
Stupid.
That's what you're
so
gonna do.
Dumb. Good gracious. Jordan texting in says, going back to the Jimbo NIL stuff, isn't this what got Hugh Freeze canned? This is coming from Jordan on the text line. No, it is not.
Yeah, we can't really get into the details of what got Hugh Freeze canned, but
I can promise you, it was not that.
Yeah, I mean, was Ole Miss? Did they get investigated? And was definitely there was recruiting stuff with Ole Miss. They were sloppy too, but no,
that was not why Hugh Freeze was fired. Oh man,
it's like on my Twitter account, I have the Hall & Oates helpline. There are other phone numbers out there that do other things.
That is correct, and Hugh Freeze can tell you about those if need be. Shout out to Liberty, by the way. Scott on the text line says, Sliced Bread does have a burner account. It's called Sliced Toast. This coming from Scott on the text line. So just different forms of bread on the Texas A&M message boards. Do we think that
he actually talked about sliced bread?
It's unbelievable. Do you think that Jimbo follows that message board account on Twitter that you made me follow, where people have all these brain dead ideas on there?
Message board geniuses.
Message board geniuses. Yes.
God, I hope so. In fact, now that you said that, like, what do they got going on over there? I bet you they got some stuff on this.
I bet sliced breads appear on there before.
Yeah.
It's any question.
Oh.
We'll continue to take your thoughts on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025, 615-737-1025. Yesterday was National Signing Day in college football. What it looked like for Vanderbilt and for Tennessee. We'll get into that coming up next. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 102.5 The Game.
This is Tanner Janot, and this is Smashville.
And now down the right wing side, Tanner Janot. His shot, he scored! Tanner Janot with a shot!
This is the flagship of the Nashville Predators Radio Network. ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Mississippi is the perfect place to find yourself while getting lost in everything nature has to offer. Start planning your trip today at visitmississippi.org/goodtimes. Mississippi, good times are close by.
Gary Ashton here. I love hearing people say, don't sell without the intel, because it means they're really embracing our message. Now's a great time to sell your home in Nashville, but you need the intel only the Gary Ashton team can provide. Intel that helps you sell your home without any staging or showings. Intel to find your next home so you can sell your current one while the market's hot. Intel to win the buyer battle and cash in on your home equity now. Let everyone else get the same information and compete for the same properties, while you get the intel edge with the Gary Ashton team, the official real estate team for your Tennessee Titans. And if you're looking for a great career, join our team. We added 65 new agents last year, and we want you to join us this year. Remember, don't sell without the intel. And if you're looking for a great career, the Gary Ashton team wants you in 2022. Call 615-301-1650 or visit GaryAshton.com today.
Genesis Diamonds has everything you need to create the perfect Valentine's experience. A romantic gift, some fresh flowers, chocolates, and dinner out on us. That's right. Genesis has put together the ultimate Valentine's package. When you buy any piece of jewelry for just $99 or more, we'll give you a bouquet of flowers from Jenny's Flowers, some yummy chocolates, and a gift card for dinner at STK Steakhouse. At Genesis, love and romance are what we do best. So we've created this amazing one-stop offer so you can spend quality time with the one you love this Valentine's. We've pulled together some wonderful Valentine gift ideas as well. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, affordable, timeless gifts she can enjoy for years. So bring the sparkle and the romance with one-stop shopping at Genesis. Spend just $99 or more with us and get the flowers, the chocolates, and a gift card for dinner as our gift. Happy Valentine's Day from Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs. Limited quantity. See store for details.
Care has the power to bring kindness where it's needed. It brings out the best in every one of us. It doesn't just see people. It takes time to understand them. It puts the needs of others ahead of its own. And when you start with care, you end up with a very different kind of bank. Truist. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
Zines First is the official sign company for 1025 The Game. Go to sfnash.com.
Plungers, assemble. Sometimes even heroes need a hero. It's time to make your biggest splash for our Special Olympics athletes. Join us for the Music City Polar Plunge presented by Asurion. Nissan Stadium, Saturday, February 19th. Jump, run, or tiptoe in. Be their hero. See polarplungetn.com.
Tonight.
Here is LeBron asserting himself as he goes down and scores.
It's an all-LA matchup.
George into the paint, to the rim with the right hand. Wow.
As the Lakers take on the Clippers. Coverage begins at 8:30
on ESPN
1025 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, this is Pekka Rinne. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 1025 The Game.
Have the same, funding resources as some of these schools do, for these NIL deals, and so it's basically like dealing with different salary caps. We now have a sport that has completely different salary caps, and some of these schools are, 5-10 times more than everybody else of what they can pay the players. So I know nobody uses those phrases, but that is what it is. So I joked the other day, I didn't know if Texas A&M was going to incur a luxury tax, and how much they paid for their signing class. In free agency in the NFL, players usually go to the most money. Every once in a while they don't because they already have a bunch of money. Well, these kids are 17, 18 years old. They're going to go to where they're paid the most. So I'm not complaining. It just is what it is. Whenever there's things created, there's a lot of times problems people didn't think about, and so you just legalize paying players what people used to cheat.
That was Lane Kiffin.
No, you're not complaining.
Yeah. No complaining here from Lane Kiffin.
And now we have differences in resources.
Yeah.
We haven't had that before. It hasn't been a problem before. Paying players wasn't a thing before. There weren't different economic situations at different schools before. Now we have an issue because you lost some recruits. I mean, all these guys, put them in a blender of just STFU. My God.
I mean, the luxury tax comment that set Jimbo
That's
off.
pretty
Pretty
good.
funny.
No, it's funny.
I enjoyed that.
No, I mean, Lane's
Shout
hilarious.
out to Lane Kiffin.
Lane's hilarious, but I love this. I'm not complaining, but I'm
I'm
about
complaining.
to cry.
I've been complaining for the last 2.5 minutes, but I'm not complaining.
I mean, I got to
Just is
see
what it is.
when's the next coach meeting? Destin. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
Jimbo and Lane.
Jimbo said, "I ain't hard to find. Come get me in one of these meetings." Jimbo's ready to fight yesterday, man.
Clown act. Yeah. How about that? By the way, I went to Message Board Geniuses. There's some good stuff. Actually, Michigan fans, according to the Message Board Geniuses, there's a collection here of posts. Here's one Michigan fan. I wish he would GTFOH for real. Here's another one. What is it? Simi Go Blue. I'd rewrite his contract after this charade, make sure he'll work for free in 2022.
Wow.
GRSS Maverick 4 says he's lost trust. Your word is your bond. Was taking a big dump on his so-called beloved U of M. He's an egomaniac. So I don't know. I'd like to know. There's an interesting poll question right now for someone elsewhere to do.
This
Michigan fans and Harbaugh.
This coming from Matt Schneiden, who covers the Green Bay Packers from The Athletic.
This better be real estate related.
Says, heard Aaron Rodgers told people in his inner circle that he likes private flights, so he's open to playing for the Jets. Sources also say he likes the zoo, so would be open to the Jaguars and Lions. Do we think that's a direct shot at Stillman?
Ooh, my goodness. Or maybe we should take him at his word.
Well,
did he just tweet this?
He just tweeted it.
Oh, boy.
Do we think that's a shot at Stillman? I say yes.
I would say yes. I got to read this again. He likes private flights, so he's open to play. Okay, I got you. Okay. So he's going with the literal,
He's open.
Interesting. Yeah, he's open to Jags and Lions.
Jared has caused a firestorm up in Green Bay.
Of the three, first of all, it is interesting information. Whether it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it's interesting information that Aaron Rodgers, that's worth reporting.
Yeah.
The open to thing, that's the thing. I'm like, okay, give me more there. What does that mean?
Yeah.
But maybe maybe McAfee needs to ask Aaron Rodgers directly about that. That's the next person that'll talk to him, right?
Well, whenever he makes his decision on what's going on, he's going on McAfee. I'm serious.
So he's done. So he's not going to be going on there on a regular basis anymore. Oh, okay. Well, that's too bad.
I think the next time he'll be on there, he said he'd come on and do whatever he wants, whatever decision he has. We'll do it on McAfee.
So he's going to announce the decision, but
that's what he said.
He also said in the last interview that he's going to decide first if he's playing, right?
Correct.
So that may be
it could be
so that be maybe soon.
It could be. Now,
and then he can ask him about this.
Now, come on, he's back-to-back MVPs. I'd be shocked if he retired.
I would be too. I'm
shocked.
saying.
I know what you're saying.
Then he can talk before he actually. Because again, that's what's weird. What his only decision is that.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he doesn't trade himself. He can help dictate that, but he doesn't trade himself.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Joe, yesterday was National Signing Day in college football. It's lost a little bit of luster since the early signing period has really taken over control of college football. And quite frankly, had Jimbo not spouted off at the mouth yesterday and Nick Saban not talked, I don't know how much National Signing Day we'd be talking about today here on the program. How did it go for Vanderbilt and Tennessee? We'll start with the Vanderbilt side of things. Tennessee, it's going to be interesting to see how the transfer portal in the future gets impacted there. We'll get to that here in just a few seconds. But a couple of local kids signed with Vanderbilt yesterday, including Jameson Wharton, who nice Hendersonville Commando. We're all about Hendersonville Commandos here on the show. Good stuff.
Yeah, Vanderbilt. And they had some really good additions from the original signing day since then.
Yep.
So they end up in so actually in 24/7 has them. Just the 24/7 rankings has Vanderbilt 23rd in the country.
It's just pretty good.
The composite rankings, which 24/7 does, which is kind of taking them all into account, has them 31. 31 for Vanderbilt is
pretty good.
Yeah, I mean they've been more in like the 60s. If I know at least some years they've been in the 60s with Derek Mason.
Yep.
I know some fit. Of course, James Franklin famously had like that top 25 class. But yeah, that's pretty good. Now, of course, again, you have to keep it in perspective of the league. So in the league, it's still 14th. Now, 24/7's own rankings put Vanderbilt 10th in the league. They put Vanderbilt ahead of Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida.
Yeah.
And South Carolina. The composite rankings, they are last. But again, I mean, they're right there with all those teams. That's not normal. That's not normal. Tennessee in the SEC, again, the 24/7 actual rankings have them 5th. The composite rankings have them 7th in the SEC. Overall, Tennessee is 16th in the composite, which is, that's a good for them too compared to where things were looking. That's a good recovery. They had one signing yesterday, the defensive end from, I don't know, do you remember? I can find it real fast. They signed one guy yesterday. I mean, it's just there's not much going on here.
No.
A lot of times by the end here. Now Texas A&M had some big.
Yeah, they did.
Big signings for whatever reason.
By the way, top 3 in recruiting, composite rankings. Texas A&M 1, Alabama 2, Georgia 3. All in the SEC.
Yep.
Ohio State at 4. And then Texas at 5, who will someday be a member of the SEC.
That's right.
I mean, shout out to Texas for still being able to recruit as well as they are with the on-the-field results at times being disastrous.
It's never stopped. And NIL now is here, and so now we're talking about the financial differences between places. Well, Texas has been there year after year, and why is that? Because Texas prints money.
Yeah. Tennessee, I mean, Josh Heupel and company do finish ahead of Florida, which is interesting. It's been a strange start for Billy Napier down there in Florida. A lot of work to do on that front.
Yeah. And you give, I mean, when you have a coaching change, you often will expect that first class to be lower than, I mean, look, the hopes for him, I mean, Florida is coach after coach, and I still think Dan Mullen's a good coach, but coach after coach, they just haven't recruited at the same level at all. They have not recruited at the level they think they should recruit at since they had Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
And even he was starting to slip and
So
clearly lagging behind Saban before he got out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Tennessee, there probably haven't been too many years, although I guess Butch had a couple where they would have finished ahead of Florida in the recruiting rankings.
Kentucky, number 13 in the country. About old Mark Stoops getting it done. LSU slides back up to number 12. You know, at one point like 3 weeks ago, LSU was down at they were like 38. Now they finished back in the top 12, which is low for LSU, but nice closing job by Brian Kelly there.
Right.
Despite the video.
Kind of. I mean, they signed the number one outside linebacker in the country yesterday out of, I think, he's a Louisiana kid. But they did lose two big in-state, and, of course, they lost the kid who
stopped putting videos
realized that he cannot play for a coach who dances like that.
No.
What is Brian Kelly doing in those things?
I don't know, man.
I mean, I'm not, look, I want him to keep doing it. Don't get me
I do
wrong,
too.
But really, you got to work on.
I would much rather see
dance
him.
moves, man.
I'd much rather see the accent continue on than the dancing continue on. But I feel like the accent thing is done at this point. I think he had his fun with it. He realized how stupid he sounded, and he's not doing it again. If I had to choose one, I would much rather him continue with the accent than the dancing.
Have you confirmed that? Did he have a press conference yesterday and he just talked like regular?
No,
Brian Kelly?
every interview I've seen since then, he's talked normal, including the interview where he said, "I'm from Boston. We don't have accents up there." And I was like, "Oh, really? Okay."
Yeah, no corncob pipe.
There's no accent.
I'll say. I said we signed a good class.
The family thing will. Oh, that's going to be played on the loop for years.
Yeah, but good recovery for Brian Kelly. I mean, He has gone to a place with better resources. You know, gone to a place with better talent resources available, and no restrictions on bringing in talent. Also,
Notre Dame finished seventh.
That's right. Notre Dame finished ahead of them, but also he's in. Those are some recruiting waters. It does mean more in this league.
Just go watch Cincinnati Bengals. You'll find out very quickly. It does mean more in this league. When we come back, it is time for the best and worst things in sports. We'll take your submissions on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. This is Robby and Rexrode here on ESPN 1025 The Game.
From Fox 17 News, this is a Code Red Weather Alert.
I'm Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist Dan Guthrie. We're at the warmest point of the day with temperatures in the mid-40s with rain showers. Temperature falls to the 30s, potentially seeing freezing rain this afternoon.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Hey, it's Chase McCabe, and BetMGM welcomes you with a special offer on the NBA. Simply place a $10 moneyline wager on any game. If either team hits a three-pointer, you'll win $200 in free bets. All you have to do is use the code 1025GAME200 when you make your first bet. BetMGM is proud to be an authorized gaming partner of the NBA. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com. Use that bonus code 1025GAME200 to win $200 in free bets if either team hits a three-pointer. It's that simple, and it's why I love BetMGM and why it is my official sports book. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Tennessee only. New customers